Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa, California, is my lovely wife, my co-host, my CFO. Her knees are out. Melissa Nickerson, everybody. You familiar with the movie Knives Out? Knees out.
Knees out.
Knees out. And down from O-side, Andy Lara, our producer, who was late last week and was late this week because we're recording on the same day. Actually, I think I reversed our timeline here.
You got two tardies, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two tardies.
Mm-hmm. One more.
You're getting written up.
You got to go to Saturday school.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how good the feeling was of breaks when you had an hourly job? Nothing better.
Yeah.
Gosh, they hit so hard. I don't respect anybody that never worked an hourly wage and doesn't know the feeling
of a 15.
Oh. Oh. Dustin, take your 15. Oh. Oh. Oh, my phone in the bathroom for 15 minutes. Oh, I will for.
No, you go. I can't. I'm on my 15.
I cannot help you. I'm on my 15.
I would help, but I'm on my 15.
I'm on my 15. It's against company policy. I took the apron off. I'm not available.
Legally, I have to take this break.
Catch me in 13 minutes and 40 seconds. I need to eat these apples and peanut butter that I brought. That's my 15 food. I got a lunch when the 30 hits. 30, I don't even work for the company anymore. 30, I clock out.
What about the last 20 minutes?
Of your, what do you mean?
Your shift. The last 20.
I mean, that's your last break, let's be honest. You ever have a boss who tries to really milk that?
Physically there, but mentally absent.
Yeah. That, man, when you worked a full hour and you got the 2 15s, you're like, whew, I hardly even work here. The first 15 just hit so hard because you usually did something that you should have done on your way to work. You know,
15?
Like you had to send an email or poop. And you're like, this first 15 just hit so hard. I'm gonna get a bev, and we had 15s before phones back in our day.
Yeah, so we're just staring at walls.
Yeah, you would just go zone out for 15. I don't know if you've seen employees these days. They're always on their 15.
Yeah.
They're taking in media behind the desk, and they should be. It's just that 15 minutes was just like, for 15 minutes, I do not serve the corporate overlord. For 15 minutes.
Me time.
For 15 minutes, I'm my own man again. I'll take my apron off, and I'll sit at this wobbly table. The 15. Anyways, I'm going to take 15.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I know. I was just thinking we didn't really do a lot of breaks at our coffee shop, but how many hours do you have to work to get a 15?
Well,
3?
4, I think. And then I think if I remember, it's like 4 under gets a 15. Once you hit the 4, you get a lunch. And then if you get in the 8, then you get 2 15s and a 30.
Yeah.
I think anything around 4.5, 5, you got a 30. I don't recall.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
But
I think it differs state to state, too. Like,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like, I think 6 hours in California, you had to have a 30-minute lunch.
Right. Right.
And then over that was an hour.
So
but
companies love
if
to put you at that 5:45 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No breaks. Or 1:15. I mean, in the service, like when you worked it out back, like you didn't get one break ever.
You didn't? No.
No.
And
No.
shout out to any of us that worked in restaurants because you didn't get breaks. So for 3 to 5 minutes every once in a while, you just hid in the walk-in freezer.
Yeah. With a handful of fries.
With some fries, maybe some croutons you're just eating out of the bin.
Yeah.
I loved the freezer. I really, because especially during the buster days,
so
you're just
cold
running
in there.
around, just chill out in every way. Just physically chill, emotionally chill, you know.
It's the best.
Like back in the day, we didn't have breathing exercises and grounding techniques, we had the walk-in freezer. I have a bad table and a mean boss and a guy who burns every single steak and I have to go deal with that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go find me and God in the walk-in freezer.
For 1 minute.
Yeah. So I don't just start hucking bloomin' onions at people. So I don't just come here fresh out of the deep fryer, just chucking bloomin' onions. No rules, just right, baby. That's the walk-in freezer. I think it saves some lives. My mom, I remember when she transferred to my nearest grocery store. My mom worked in and she's worked in grocery stores her whole life, and she worked to a baker, like Albertsons. She was like the bakery, and so she would be at the nearby Albertsons, and so me and my friends, we would like skate, and then we would go hang out in her freezer, which was fantastic. And then she'd be like, "Don't eat anything," and we were sitting there eating all the cookies and stuff.
Usually, you got a loaf of bread, right?
That was Gavin. Gavin, that's what you're remembering is that story. My friend Gavin, he was for a while there, he would just go get like a big loaf of a baguette, a warm bread, a French bread, and he would eat it at school all day, which is great.
Our friend Tristan used to do that too with the King's Hawaiian.
Oh, to be able to take in the carbs.
Just a bag of bread.
Bread is dessert as an adult. Bread is dessert. I hit it.
So good.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, none of this was planned. We've got a lot to get to today. We are here to talk a little bit about summer, but we've been asking you guys to tell us your worst family travel stories. And you did not disappoint. Some of yours travel disappointed, but your stories did not disappoint. So we're going to get to them.
So much can go wrong.
So much can go wrong. Before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about upcoming tour dates that I got going. I don't know exactly when this episode's airing, but I have an idea. So 7/26 through 27, July 26th through 27th, I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then we're into August, Atlanta, Charleston. Atlanta's almost sold out. Buy tickets to that. Charleston, Asheville, Charlotte, Omaha, San Francisco, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, into the rest of fall, Tacoma, Milwaukee, Boston. Boston is almost sold out. Buy tickets to that. Appleton, Austin, Louisville, Salt Lake is selling fast. Oxnard, Bakersfield. Funny story. Did you see the comment on the Bakersfield flyer you made?
No.
You know the dates. You didn't put California. You just put Bakersfield. All the other ones, and somebody said like, "This is my favorite thing." No explanation. Bakersfield doesn't get a state. It just says Bakersfield.
Oh, funny.
But Bakersfield is kind of a state of mind in that sense. It's its own thing. And if you know Bakersfield, you know like that actually kind of works because it doesn't fit in with California. It's Bakersfield, baby.
Nope.
Springfield, Raleigh, OKC, Tulsa, Spokane, Indy, St. Louis.
I think we missed Sacramento.
Louis.
Indy,
Sacramento's,
if you scroll back up.
Yeah, it's
in August. Yeah,
yeah,
I think we just
right
missed
after
that
San
one.
Francisco.
Yeah.
If you're going to Sacramento, doesn't really hit as hard.
It's nice. It's nice.
Anyways, we got a lot to get to. We're going to get to some of the stories. Let me start off here by telling you guys. Parents, you're almost there. Parents, right here. We're about halfway there. We are about halfway through summer, depending on where you live. We're getting there. Stay strong. I know it's hard. I know you have tried everything. You have used every skill, every tactic, every ounce of strength you've had to keep your kids off of the screens for 8 hours a day. You're doing great. I know it's hard.
You've compromised all your values.
Yeah. Just hang in there. Just hang there. You've put trauma on your kids and moments of anger that they will likely work out later in therapy. All right? It just happens. It's just part of summer. You're doing great. You're going to get through this. I know you can. I believe in you.
1 hour at a time.
Yeah. Gosh, a summer hour at home with your kid. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime. It's so long. You guys can do it. I know you can. You got maybe one more trip in you, or you already went on your trip. I don't know.
It's dicey. You either take it right away,
or
you take it at the end.
Either
way, it's very difficult.
I just want you to parents. I just want to close. I want you right now, parents. I want you to close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. And I want to picture a day like 3-4 weeks from now, depending on where you live, and you're at home by yourself.
assuming you don't commute to work.
Correct.
You're not a teacher.
You wake up. There's a day 3 to 4 weeks from now where you wake up in the morning and you send your kids back to school. And whether or not you go to a job that day or not, you have a drink.
Well,
because you've earned that drink.
You might have a quiet lunch or a quiet shower.
Yeah.
You just might.
You
on that day.
You have a day that you are 100% sure you're going to shower. Mm-hmm. And that's a good feeling. Mm-hmm. You have a day, it's the first day of school, so they're not even going to come with home with homework either, which is nice.
Just forms for you to fill out. Yeah.
All the back to school shopping is done.
That is a process.
This is truly Mother's and Father's Day, is the return to school. You're almost there, unless you homeschool, and then, you've built yourself a hell that you choose to live in. And that was a choice, but I just stay strong, parents.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
And if you're like us, it's being like an at-home employee, and when your kids are at home, it's just hard to get anything done. But you can do it. I know you can.
Compromises will be made.
Compromises will be made. I give you full permission to give a compromise. Let's get into some summer stories, but we're going to talk about a few things kind of in and out as well.
Okay.
Let's get into some of our travel stories. So we ask you guys to shoot emails to dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com to tell us some of your worst travel stories.
And you guys did not disappoint.
You did not disappoint. This first one right here is from Amanda. Subject, worst travel story. Amanda.
All right, Amanda. Let's hear it.
Hi, Dustin and Mel. My story is not as bad as yours. We'll see. But was quite the experience. While my husband was stationed in Portugal for a year, we decided to meet in London and go back and go on a bucket list British Isles cruise.
Oh, man.
About 3 days before we flying out. The ship had mechanical issues in Germany and unsure if it would be repaired in time for our sailing. Since I had booked my plane ticket through the cruise line, they advised me to take a refund and not fly because my return flight would be canceled if the entire cruise was canceled. After years of watching The Amazing Race, I decided I was equipped with enough skills to risk it. I got on a plane in Kansas City. So she's in Kansas City. He's in Portugal. They're trying to meet in London.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Got on a plane in Kansas City, not knowing where I would sleep that night or what we would do in the next 2 weeks, which led to only 15 minutes of sleep on my overnight flight. Luckily, when I landed at Heathrow, there was an email letting me know that the cruise would depart 3 days late, so I didn't have to vamp for the whole 2 weeks. I met my husband at an airport hotel where he had nothing but the clothes on his back and passport since the Portuguese equivalent of Spirit Airlines had lost his bag.
Oh, no.
After a little sightseeing and obsessively checking in the location of the air tag and my husband's luggage, he was reunited with his bag that evening, and we made a plan to fly to Scotland that night. After landing around midnight in Edinburgh, going on an almost 2 days of no sleep, our hotel was oversold and didn't have a room. They eventually found us another hotel on the other side of town, and I finally got to sleep and began enjoying my vacation. We ended up very happy the extra time we had in Edinburgh, and that the cruise only had half the passengers as well as the compensation the cruise line gave us. Yeah, I would go through the stress of those 3 days again for the outcome. That is a nice story.
It worked out.
It worked out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our hell trip to Iowa was less. We felt less like we are so glad we did that. We were like, we're glad we saw our friends. Mm-hmm. End of story.
That's rough. That's rough. The not knowing where you're gonna sleep is
tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, so bold.
Just also not sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever left not knowing where you're gonna sleep one night?
On tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, after a show.
Yeah.
We were like, I think we're just going to drive through the night, and we parking lot it.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Oh, we did it once in Eugene. Mm-hmm. Remember? We were driving, and we must have been going to Coos Bay from Seattle. I don't remember. No, I think this was our drive when we were driving down to California. We were going to my least favorite city on earth in Lancaster, and we're like, we need to make a stop. And this was back in the day where you didn't always like have a reservation ahead of time. You would just be like,
day of.
You just drive as far as you could, and when you were tired, you would find a hotel.
You're like, I'd like to spend the night here.
Yeah, and do you remember how you got us the hotel?
That coupon book?
The coupon book. Blast from the past, baby. Mel got out the coupon book.
I don't remember what it was called, but
it was an
Econo
Lodge.
fundraiser.
Oh, yeah, for
and
the... Yeah.
you'd be like, this coupon book's $20. And then you would, just like pull out, deals.
Yeah. And you had to call a phone number?
Yeah, and book it.
But not the hotel, right? You had to call the
coupon book.
You had to call.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too
we
good.
Booked a lot through that.
It's
man.
And we stayed in a Econo Lodge that night. I think it was the first time we ever traveled. We stayed in hotels on our honeymoon, but I don't remember another time other than that. Kids don't know. We did just every day.
Just winged it.
The 90s was the Amazing Race. 80s, you just
you can't text anyone.
Yeah.
You're trailing along the highway with your little caravan.
Yeah. The Amazing Race? You mean travel before smartphones? That's what we did. You just showed up into cities. You're like, where's their availability? Where can I lay my head and rest tonight?
Do they have a restaurant?
Which forms of payment do they take?
I got traveler's checks.
Yeah. I'm carrying $3,000 cash. They want, just come rob me. I have so much cash on my
fanny pack.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
They
different.
don't even know.
It was different.
Different times. So much easier now.
Now they're just like, do you have Apple Pay?
Yeah, okay.
The Wi-Fi's down.
Yeah. All right, next one right here. This is from Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Big friend of the pod here. Subject, worst family flight experience thus far. She put thus far in parentheses.
That's fun.
Hello, Nickersons. I write this well aware that I'm likely jinxing myself and that something worse will happen the next time we travel as a family. I love that kind of optimism, Bonnie. That's what I like to see out of a backseater.
Mm-hmm.
Our worst experience was when we were in Cancun. We were Cancun bound in 2019. We have a great Cancun story, too.
We do.
It was the first time we took the kids with us. They were 5 and 8. We landed in Mexico City for our connecting flight, found our gate, saw that a plane was boarding, confirmed our boarding time just in case, and went to grab something to eat. We had plenty of time according to our boarding passes. This is foreshadowing. After getting lunch, we went to the gate at boarding time only to find it abandoned and barricaded. We went to the desk to find out what happened. We were told the flight left. We showed them our boarding passes with the boarding time. They said, quote, we changed the boarding time when we saw the flight was going to come in earlier. The flight crew should have told you to go straight to the gate and board right away. So, yeah, the plane that was boarding when we were confirming our boarding time was our flight. We were never paged. No airport announcements were made. And the agent at the desk who confirmed our boarding time didn't say anything about the flight and that was boarding missing 4 Galiendos. Galiendo, right? I always mess that one up. There were a lot of raised voices when they told us we would have to pay for a new flight. Oh, because it was our fault. We made them look into why no announcements were made and why we were never paged. Turned out the person responsible for doing pages and announcements when we arrived in Mexico City just decided to leave and not tell anyone. In case you were wondering, the entire debacle was happening in Spanish, not English. Thankfully, we are bilingual. Well, my husband is. I just get by and know enough to fool people into thinking I am. So I did not exacerbate the situation. We lost our first night at the resort in Cancun, and of course, the airline didn't comp the cost of the lost first flight, and the new flight meant we lost most of the next day as well.
Ugh.
We spent a day and a half in Mexico City and just toured around the city center. When we got back to the airport the next day, all the signage to check your gate and confirm your boarding time was out, and wouldn't you know it, passengers were getting paged and gate changes were being announced. We've since gone a few more times and have not had the flustercuck. Oh, nice. That was the first family vacay to Cancun. See you in either San Francisco or Sacramento in August. Bonnie, we honeymooned in Cancun, and
Our layover was in Texas or something, I think. Yeah,
I thought it was L.A.
Not Mexico City.
I thought it was L.A. I think we went Seattle to L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really remember. And Mel got swimmer's ear.
Day 1.
I think it was day 2.
It was the first day in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we had to find La Farmacia.
Uh-huh. The Olympics were going on.
We watched a lot of Olympics.
And
Mel got swimmer's ear and then got Q-tip. She was using Q-tip, so it got stuck in her ear.
Yeah.
So I had to fish it out. Yeah. Not ideal.
I hurt ears. It's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get the nurse at my college campus to flush it out for me
when you got home.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
It's we watched a lot of Olympics. That's what I remember. So much Olympics.
Yeah.
This would have been what year Olympics? 2004?
Oh,
Yeah, 2004.
04. 20 years ago.
Hilarious. It was I mean, we're 19 and 22. Just in a different country. Like, I think my wife's dying.
This is it.
This is not great. This is but La Farmacia, we just described it, and he's like, and he got the drips, and it did fix.
Yeah.
Right?
It was magic.
I don't think you've ever gotten swimmer years since.
I think it was like $14 too.
Yeah. I think you haven't played in the ocean that hard since either.
I did get it pretty bad in Arizona once because the pool was like 5 foot, and I'm 5'4". All the water was going in my ears when I was swimming with the kids, and I Googled it because I had Google, and like I did the hairdryer trick.
Yeah.
And then you were at a show or 2 shows, and I had you go to CVS and get like the alcohol drops, you know, that like dry out your ear canal. And that's what I carry them with me now. So now I know.
Smart.
As apparently my family has like small ear tubes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great.
So that can happen.
That's a thing, huh? Small ear tubes.
Yeah.
Family medical history is weird.
It is.
Anyways, I think I have arthritis. You want to know how my sleep was last night? I got up and I was like, how to know if you have arthritis when you're 40? I think I got it. Oh, speaking of swimming, you had a funny last swim lesson story with Claire.
Oh, yeah.
This is awesome.
Okay, this is just so classic.
It's a good male rant.
Because I taught swim lessons in high school. That was like my first real job. And then I have like enrolled the kids, all 3, in swim lessons. So Claire's 10. We're just like, hey, let's do 3 lessons and kind of work on the strokes. You know, the ocean's dangerous. You know, like brushing up.
You got to know how to swim in Southern California. I mean, you should learn in general how to swim, but it's a thing that you got to know here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you're in the water, be water safe. But so you look online and it's like level 3, you know, backstroke, level 4, you know, like butterfly. You're like, you're probably level 3, right? So you sign them up, you take them down there, and then on the last lesson, so it's like 3 Saturdays. So the last Saturday, we've got a substitute instructor, of course, right? It's fine. This happens. So she's nice. We get acquainted. Claire gets in, and then this dad comes in. He's like, hey, here's my 3 kits. They were in level 2, but I emailed. So they're in level 3 now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, awesome. And then he like goes and grabs a coffee and gets on his phone. And so Claire's class had gone from 3 to 6, like right there.
Yeah.
Because level 2 wasn't hard enough for these kids. And they're all like several years younger than Claire.
Right.
So you're like, oh, cool. Like, we could have tipped Claire into level 4, but we're keeping her in 3.
Right.
And it looks like she's almost going to get a private lesson because it's a light day.
Yeah.
And then the manager's out, the teacher's out. So let's just bump all these kids up.
100%.
And I totally get it. I've been there, but you know, it's going to change the whole lesson for Claire.
Yeah.
Everyone's just going to be like back floating for 25 minutes. And it's just so funny because they never move kids.
No.
They would never move.
They took advantage of a sub.
They would have never moved 3 kids for the last lesson.
Right.
It's so classic. And what are you going to do? Nothing.
Did you
It's very funny.
Did you do swim lessons as a kid? Like, did you how'd you learn how to swim?
On base,
I don't think swim lessons were as popular when we were kids. It was a lot of like just figure it out.
I mean, we would probably go for a week or 2 at the start of the summer. And we would do like 5 to 10 lessons.
Oh, that's a lot of swim.
There was 4
did you
of
do
us.
Swim lessons?
There's 4 of us.
I had
kids.
a pool.
Or did you do Southern Californians? You just surfed out of the womb.
Yeah, I swam right on out.
No, you were on a board.
Yeah,
You're
just chilling, vibe all the way out.
First wave you caught.
Well, We always had to get
flip the hang loose, Mom.
Right. We got a hand.
Oh,
we got a hand out first.
We got the hang loose out of me.
Oh, he's backwards.
I cut the rip curl out, Mom. I got pretty gnarly in there for a second, Mom.
So barreled.
Oh man, Mom.
Rolled out.
I was just.
That's crazy, Mom. Did you see that, Mom? Wow.
Great day.
That's great. Yeah, man, I did not see that coming in the surf report. You guys just learned it. Southern California babies.
Once we moved here, we had a 4 and a 2-year-old, and our 4-year-old wasn't competent because there's not a lot of pools in Washington State. It's so cold.
No, I remember going to swim lessons, and they'd be like, well, I'm not going to use this skill for a year for my annual swim.
Yeah, and...
You want to see a bunch of bad swimmers? Go to a summer camp in Washington State. A lot of pale kids.
I used to teach in Washington State in an indoor pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the private lessons.
I did win the belly flop contest, though, but...
Did the private lessons when they were leaving for camp, like, in 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And you're like, I can't force your head underwater.
No.
Like, I had to get this from China. I got this mesh sling so I could take my baby in the water and have 2 hands for my 4-year-old. It was amazing.
Yeah. I forgot about that thing.
Yeah. I passed it on to several moms. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're at a public pool and your kid's like under 6 or 7, like you have to be in the water. Mm-hmm. But I had a newborn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how we did it. So Claire was, our girls were really early swimmers.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's just because what I actually did is they had the swimsuit that had the float in it.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like a puddle jump where we could like take it off and then you're like, I got to put this back on.
Right.
There's no fight because it was like, well, you're going to wear this no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then they loved it. They would float on their backs constantly.
Yeah.
And by themselves, you know, like you didn't have, so they just got really comfortable.
I will say I've gone on rants and we had the big viral rant about how childhood has changed and stuff. One thing that has remained a childhood staple is swimming. It's not going anywhere. Gen Z, these kids love swimming just as much as we do, if not more. The pool is forever. The pool just works. The ocean, I get when people go 50-50 on the ocean. The ocean's a lot. It's very cold. It's salt water.
Sand.
It's kind of dangerous at times.
Yes.
I get it. The pool is just forever, man. It really is.
There's nothing like a hot day when you swim and you get like a sweet treat.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the pinnacle of childhood.
You'd love to lizard. You'll get in a pool just to get out of the pool.
Yeah. Lie on the concrete.
You're 40 years old. I've seen you lizard 4 times this summer.
I don't calm down a lot.
Lizard was, again, it was grounding in the 90s. We had the pool. Remember the pool day at summer camp? Oh, unbelievable. Just a lot going on. Just, there's a belly flop contest going over here, as you get a little older. Some creep in goggles underwater. As you do get older, and probably this is even more true as a woman, you're like, who's wearing goggles under here? What are you doing, you creep?
So I think our public pool.
I've done that as a dad a few times, and I'm like playing with our kids, and I have the goggles, and I'll get down and I'll see like some woman. I'm like, just keep swimming. Don't pop up now in front of her. Like, hey, I just saw a lot of high thigh. So you haven't shaved in a few days.
So we were.
Legs. That wasn't meant to be. I'm sorry. That was. But I stand by what I said.
So what I said. We went to a resort pool on this trip, and they had a Serenity pool.
Yes.
Adults only.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We didn't even go up there.
No.
I don't even know what it looked like.
You said something interesting. So we stayed after the camp, we're like, we're going to do this one day at this nice hotel in Birmingham, and you're going to meet up with your sister, and it was great. And I was mad because I was looking for the volleyball court, and they're like, we replaced that with a Serenity pool. This is just for adults. And I was like originally perturbed by that, but you raised an interesting point that you're glad it exists.
Yes, because if you're in the pool with the water slide, like you're going to get splashed and jumped on.
Yes.
Because that's where all the kids are.
Yeah.
And it's got like the waiting, like the beach entrance or something, where all the little babies are.
Yeah.
So you know what you're signing up for. And the Serenity pool is, you got your drink.
Yeah.
And you'll stay dry if you want to be dry.
As I've gotten older, I realize more and more I am all for separating families and non-families in public places.
Yeah.
I would, in an ideal scenario, that adult would just grow up and be able to handle the presence of a child. But I understand that that's an ideal scenario.
Yeah.
But if you can't be that way, then you know what? Go have the pool that kids can't be in because that's what you need. Go have have an adult only flight. Great. If you can, if you can't handle, okay, I'm all for it.
Or an adult only wedding.
Yeah. An adult only wedding. People do that.
Yep. We were at a casino pool, and there was a bachelorette group, and they got mad at us because one of our kids was around them.
And I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I remember this very vividly. Do you remember what I said to them?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a kid got our kid splashed a bachelorette party, and she was like, "Oh, what's going?" Like she had a big, strong reaction. I go, "You're in a public pool. I'm sorry. Are you Mrs. Pachanga?" Because that was the name of the hotel.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was very angry. But I get it. But when we're in the pool, we're like, this is all just part of it.
Yeah, I think Vegas has some of those adult-only pools.
A Vegas pool, a lot of time I'm like, keep the kids out of that pool because they're not going to be kids at the end of this.
Having kids at the end of this.
Exactly.
But, it was fun until the torrential lightning storm.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's a tradition like none other.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to a couple more emails. This is from Dan. Dan, you may know Dan. Big fan from the Harrises. Here we go.
Dan.
Subject, worst family travel. Dustin and Mel. We got invited to a wedding in Texas over New Year's 2015. We were living in Las Vegas at the time. Oh, how about that? And we had a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. For added fun, Cindy was having anxiety over some health issues over the last 3 months. As a youngish couple that should have potentially thought things through more, we decided that we could definitely drag our 2 kids on a 5-day trip halfway across the country. 2 days in Abilene, 1 day for the wedding, 2 days driving back. What could possibly go wrong?
Right after Christmas.
Our backseaters are good writers.
They're good.
They tell good stories.
They do.
We started the drive, and there was a threat of bad weather. So we decided to take the more southern route and go down to Tucson and then turn east. Everything was great until I got near El Paso. We stopped for gas, and it seemed like everybody had decided to stop at the same point. Weird, but okay. It was getting late. But we wanted to get further before stopping for the night. And we drove into what the National Weather Service at the time called the worst ice storm in recent memory.
Oh, my gosh.
Snow, ice, fog, multiple 18-wheelers and ditches along the road. Clearly, we had made poor choices. Cindy used mediocre 2015 cell phone internet to book us the last hotel room in Pecos, Texas. Great. We can get up, drive the last couple hours to Abilene, and still make the wedding. In the morning, I go out to the van, and there's a half-inch of ice coating the entire vehicle, and the roads are still a mess. Well, guess we're not getting anywhere today. We spent another night in lovely Pecos, swam in the pool, missed the wedding, and started back to Las Vegas.
You drove to an ice storm.
Exactly, in Pecos, Texas. On the way back, we stopped at the Rooster Coburn Ostrich Ranch outside Tucson. A 5-day road trip to nowhere, 27 hours of driving, almost 2,000 miles to spend, 2 nights in Pecos. Our 3-year-old thought it was great. Swimming in hotel pools, feeding the ostriches and goats. Couldn't have been better for her. And the Ostrich Ranch was actually pretty awesome. There is really something to making the best out of a scenario like that,
That's amazing.
It was good. That is really good. I think our kids have traveled too much to settle for, adventure. They're just like, we've gone to so many places. We know when bad travel is bad travel. They're not like, oh, it's a fun hotel pool. They're past that, but we travel a lot.
Well, I think you have to find ways to have fun no matter what the circumstances. But that's part of growing up.
Speaking of part of growing up, Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I saw that on my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Solo.
I got all the kids to go with me, plus a friend.
Right.
A kid friend. It was funny because I was on the end, and then all my kids were to the right of me and the friend. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get to catch all the reactions, but the girls definitely cried a couple times.
Yeah.
It was really sweet. It was about growing up, perfectionism, anxiety, sports, friends.
You told me one scene, we're not going to spoil the movie, particularly about anxiety. What was it you said?
Riley.
Have you seen it?
It's just she gets more emotions when she turns like 13.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So anxiety is very silly, and at night, of course, she has this like whole crew of like little critter animals, and they have to create projections and like put them on the screen so anxiety can solve it before it happens.
Yeah.
So like possible scenarios. And it's basically like they're storyboarding.
Yes.
Like late in the night. And
it's great. So funny.
Super fun. So joy and sadness have to like save the day, the OG emotions and help. And it's very nice.
How many Bingo Dingos will you give it?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Did you like it the same as the one? More? The first one? Less? More? The same?
There's no Bing Bong. Bing Bong's in the first one. Do you remember him?
I haven't seen either.
Okay. All right.
That's
I probably like
as
the
a 40-year-old
first
male, I don't believe in feelings.
I just think
suppress.
I think Amy Poehler is so good.
Yeah.
And she really carries both movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the OG one, the original.
It would be funny if they made a one that was like exclusively about how men were trained, is that all these feelings came up, and then there would just be something that was like, push it down.
Well, Joy actually is sending feelings to like out of this Riley sphere. She has like a tube that she puts memories in and like shoots them into this pile like way far away.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then she has to go get them.
Yeah. There could easily be an Inside Out 3 of that.
Yeah.
Boy, and like in the conflict of like raising a young male in modern society. I mean, that's like
Inside Out 3
itself.
Inside Out 3 for like how a millennial man was trained on his feelings. It's like a 30-second movie. The emotions show up, and then he just goes, no, and the movie's over.
They do show the feelings of the mom and dad, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like for a second. They have like glasses and mustaches.
They look like them.
Yeah. It's funny.
Glasses and mustaches. What a hack. Okay, let's get to some opposite emotions of joy. Travel struggles. This is from Katie. Get ready for a long, long story.
All right.
The year is 2021. Good writers. Backseaters, you're good writers.
Best of times.
It is summertime, and I live in Cincinnati. I've been dating Mike for about 8 months, and I'm going with him to his best friend's wedding in Massachusetts. Mike went up to Boston early to hang out with some college friends, and he had some more leeway. I have to stick around as I was a high school volleyball coach and had summer practices. I leave on a Wednesday flight from CVG. That's the Cincinnati Airport. It's right next to Kentucky. I think it might be in Kentucky, actually. I'm supposed to connect through D.C., to get to Boston around 7 p.m. That's a lot can go wrong there. It's a beautiful sunny day, but the plane we are supposed to be taking gets delayed because of the storms in that area. It is delayed so much that I'm going to have to miss my connection. I immediately hop on a line to the service desk, but I'm panicking since I'm supposed to meet Mike and have a packed day planned for my first time in Boston. He's on the phone with me, looking into any options, and we even booked a backup plan of an overnight Amtrak ride. They were able to squeeze me in on a flight when I arrived at about 1 a.m. in Boston. Okay. So I made it, and we were able to do our 20-ish miles of touristy things the next day. We then hop a ride with a friend to the wedding in Central Mass and have a great time. On our way back to Boston, we planned a day/night in Salem. This is also the trip I first meet his parents, so lots of stress, but we were still together 3 years later, so I guess it was fine. Originally, Mike and I were going to fly back to Cincy together, but he ended up getting a job interview, so he stayed a couple of extra days. We part ways in Salem, and I head to the airport. My flight is connecting through Dulles in D.C., and is fine. I'm at my gate for my flight home talking to Mike on the phone when I hear over the intercom that the flight to Cincy was canceled with zero explanation why. The cancel's always devastating. Everyone from the gate hurries to get in line and while the customer service. At this point, I'm tired and overwhelmed while talking to the phone, still trying not to cry while in line since it is 9 or 10 p.m. at this point. All I want to do is get home. I can't get to the front of the line. Or I get to the front of the line. And I had overheard some options, so I have an idea as what to expect. First, they say they can get me to a hotel, and the next flight is 5 p.m. tomorrow. That is a no-go since I need to get back to volleyball. It's a good coach right here. The option I go with is they put me in a hotel, give me a taxi voucher, then book me on the next flight to Reagan the next morning at 8 a.m. By that time's all sorted out. I get to the hotel, and it's 1:30 a.m. I have to get up at 4:30 to get in a cab around Reagan eventually to make it home. At least I was solo on this trip. I could not imagine navigating with that children in tow. I love the pod, and we agree that Denver is a terrible airport, but my greatest vendetta will always remain with the D.C. airports. Fair?
Whew.
Fair. It's whew.
That's rough.
Summer travel, man. Summer travel. But I respect that she was trying to get back to her volleyball.
That's
because
right.
you're feeling the heat in your
I am like so hot right now.
Yeah. Our summer episodes are pretty. If Mel looks balmy.
It was just like the last 5 minutes. I was like, okay.
Oh, I didn't. I was at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
And then I was at the 20-minute mark, and then I did that riff about surfing the baby out, and that gave me some life.
Andy and I are just listening to you, like, but we're also like, bedtime story.
Night night. I get it. We'll save a few more of these for another time too because they're so good. You guys, it's
amazing.
And you know what? Bad summer stories are forever.
They are.
Yeah. Mel.
Yeah.
We've got how many days of summer do we have left?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're doing a great job this summer. We've kept our kids very busy. It helped that one of them had to go to summer school.
Well,
I feel like parents want the exact opposite of what kids want for summer.
The parents more structure,
exactly.
The better.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Parents want a jam-packed summer, as many activities as possible, keep you busy, and
tired.
Kids just want to sleep in and lounge. This is like an eternal struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I just did like our camp laundry.
Yeah.
And that was like disgusting. We did 2 loads at camp.
Yeah.
And then we came home and did like 6 loads.
I did 4 loads total. I did 2 when I was out. I did 2 at Nate's. I did 1 in an arena, and then I think I did 4 or 5 while I was out there. Yeah.
We have
just like wringing out the humidity underwear.
Oof. We have another trip, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to wash everything again because you kind of wear the same things. You only have so many pairs of shorts. The kids are using the swimsuits every day. Bunch of pool and beach towels.
Yeah.
It's a lot for the parents.
Yeah.
Like checking in on doctors. And, you know, and then we're already getting all the back to school stuff is already kind of it's there.
Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take.
Yeah.
Tell me what you guys think about it. Here's a hot take. I think summer's overrated. I think summer might be the most overrated season. It's still a good season, but it's miserable to travel in. Everything you want to do is super busy.
Yeah.
It's the second worst weather. Like, it's pretty miserable hot everywhere right now, and I don't know if that's because of climate change or because God is punishing us, but either way, I do blame billionaires. But it's I don't know.
It's extremes.
Summer is a child's favorite. But you know what? Maybe I should take that back because we have a job. A lot of people take their vacations during the summer. I don't know. Counterpoint. What do you guys think? I think summer is the most overrated. I think summer is the most overrated season.
Yeah, because you're more of like a fall.
I love fall.
Yeah.
I like winter too.
Yeah.
But I don't live in an extreme winter place either.
Yeah. It delivers the most disappointment.
Summer does.
Summer does. Because if you're all stoked on something and it goes bad, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Because then if it's like you're in Florida, there's hurricanes. If you're in Texas, it's just like 120 degrees out.
It's tough.
All your projections are wrong.
Yeah.
But I think it has the highest highs, like, an ice cream.
Yeah.
at an event,
but
like an ice cream cone.
It does.
Like,
but how many of those highs are as an adult?
You gotta find the joy, man.
Yeah.
Find the joy.
Yeah.
I think you can eat an ice cream at an event any time of the
year. Have you ever had I have ice cream on Christmas. You can have ice cream anytime.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I think it just hits different.
Yeah.
In the summer. I agree with you. There were times when I would just count the days down.
Yeah.
And I would.
You mean as a kid?
No, as an adult, watching 3 little kids, and you're like, I'm not going to shower today. I'm barely going to eat.
Right.
I'm going to be late to everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a ton of extra laundry. Everyone's kind of cranky and hot. No one's going to sleep well because they haven't done enough.
Yeah.
You're hot in the car. You're hot leaving the car.
Summers are kind of they're a real grind for parents.
They are.
A real grind. They're just.
And then you got to put all the sunscreen on them.
Yeah.
And then they still get stung by a bee. And
yeah.
then you're like, oh. And then it's 4:00 and you got to cook dinner and everybody's tired. Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why parents are overstressed.
Yeah.
Overextended during the summer.
Yeah.
Because even those camp pickups,
yeah.
Oh.
Stressful.
Just getting there on time and driving them everywhere.
Yeah. Summer is a little bit like Chuck E. Cheese, where you're like, this isn't as much fun as when I was a kid.
You're overstimulated. Yeah. It's too much.
It's a lot of bad pizza. It's a lot of.
Pizza is so bad.
There's a lot of people around. All this. It's just not as much fun as it used to be.
Nope. The nostalgia can only take you so far.
Yeah, summer is kind of like the transition into adulthood. When summer changes. When you get
that's good.
When summer changes, it is really when you become an adult. You're like, oh, I don't get any time off.
Yeah, you're like, why do I still have to do laundry and dishes and pay bills and meal plans?
What do you mean I don't get
shop?
8 weeks off of my responsibilities? What do you mean I don't get to go on fun adventures and trips every day?
That I don't pay for.
Yeah. I want to go to the pool.
Right. You're right. You just want to wear a wristband and live in a swimsuit.
It's kind of seasonal puberty. You're officially adult when summer isn't as fun anymore. Your first summer job, ugh.
You're going to stand here all day.
The first time your alarm goes off in July, you're like, no, I don't want to grow up. This is supposed to be time off.
I'm just exploring my interests and hobbies. Building friendships.
Me and my friends were going to ride our bikes in the ravine today. We were going to build a ramp today. All right. It's hot in here. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, folks, we just want to give a special shout out to our Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patron. That's our highest, second highest. Highest, and then there's an even higher. But you guys are great. You guys are great because you get a special shout out here at the end. So, special shout out to April Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Andy and Darlene Girton,
Bonnie Galliendo,
Brandon Schoenberger,
Carrie Teague,
Christopher and Bridget Finland,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demaria Stevens,
Daniel Owens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Dustin Daly,
Jason and Francis White,
Jessica Hanrahan,
Jonathan Riviera,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Calslon,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carose,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Stephen Mina,
and Tiffany Payne. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.